Hello, welcome to Air Cooled Performance. I'm the Harley Doctor. This is my brother Jeffro, and here at Air Cooled Performance, we speak obsolete. We fix the old stuff to keep it going, and we do the new stuff as well, but our specialty is the older machines. And so this is a continuation of our 4-speed transmission rebuild video. And like I said, what we're doing is we're doing these in short bursts. So rather than have to go through a 2-hour video to pick out a certain part that you want to see, there's several small videos that will show you what's going on. Now, the first set of videos we're doing is where we're evaluating what we've got to have. So we're tearing this stuff down, the ratchet lid, we did that, the kicker cover, then the counter shaft, and now we're going to go move on to the main shaft, because one of the issues this thing had was leakage right there behind the sprocket, the drive sprocket. And what it appears that there's excessive wear in the main drive bushing and or the main shaft. So we're going to access that and here in just a minute. This is the early transmission. It has the loose rollers, like the counter shaft had 44 loose rollers, 22 on each end. This has 44 loose rollers, but it's all at the main drive gear. And on this end back here, we've got a big roller bearing to support that in. So we've looked at the at the starter clutch gears here, and these look to be in good shape. One thing that's not good is, if I can roll it around here, you can see, is this particular lock tab right here. Now that lock tab is not a very good lock tab, but that's the way they made them. And as you can see, that's not doing a very good job of keeping that nut locked. So we're going to address that and fix that as well. And so we hope you like what we're doing. Please like and subscribe. We're new to videos. We're not new to motorcycles. I've been a factory trained mechanic since '76, and my dad before me. So yeah, we know a little bit about these things. And we're not God's gift to Harley Davidson, but we try real hard to do a good job. And hopefully these will help you get your motorcycle back on the road and going up and down to where you're having a good time. That's what it's all about. All right, let's get started on this main shaft here. Now, what I did to get started with is there's 4 screws that hold this bearing plate on, this retainer plate, and they're really in there. So what you're going to need is you're going to need one of these. This is called a hand impact screwdriver. You can get them at Hobo Freight, whatever. You don't have to be a Snurpon or a Matco or whatever, but you need one of these if you're going to work on motorcycles. Okay? End of story. Get you one. And so that's what I got these loose with. And so now I'm just going to go ahead and spin these out real quick, and we'll get started with that. And since the starter ratchet and the starter clutch gear appear to be in good shape, we're going to leave those like they are. We will be changing out this lock tab up here for sure. Now this item right here I'm fixing to take off, this is a oil deflector right here. And what that oil deflector does is it drips oil down onto the throwout bearing. So always put this back on. A lot of people leave it off. I've seen transmissions come in where it's not even in there. If you're going to run the old style throwout bearing, you especially need that. So make sure you put that back in. You'll be glad that you did. We'll go ahead and get this out. And these transmissions are super simple. You'll be able to do this, without any issue, I'm sure. And just get these out. But there's a lot of videos out there of doing these things, and they're a couple hours long. I mean, we can make an 8-hour video if we wanted to break down every little piece, But a lot of times, if it's, here's the deal, don't patch nothing. But if it's in good shape, it should be okay. But you have to be able to discern and understand when it's in good shape and when it's not. And so by the time you get through watching these videos, hopefully you'll know enough about your 4-speed transmission to be able to repair it or if you take it somewhere, you'll be able to know that you'll be able to talk to the guy doing the repair. Okay. All right. So we got one more screw here. Get that out. Okay. And like I said, we're leaving the starter ratchet and the starter clutch gear on here because they're in perfect shape. But we will take this nut off and replace that lock tab because that is an accident waiting to happen. So now, before we can take the main shaft out, there is a part in here called the main shaft third gear snap ring. And that lives right in here, in this area right in here. You can see it. Yep. Right inside here. That's where that third gear snap ring lives. And what its job is it keeps you from going into two gears at once. If you leave this out, or if it fails, it will be bad. So when you get them out, this is how you take them out. Now we keep these in stock just to show you. That's what it looks like when it goes in, and this was what it looks like when you get it out. There's virtually no way that I know of to save these, and I wouldn't if I could. Never, ever use a used snap ring. Brand new, okay? All right, so we've got that out. So now, armed with that, we're going to drive this out. Jeffrey, if you'll get your brass piece there, and we'll see if we can't get this main shaft out. All right, here we go. All right, there we go. So now, what we've done is, because you said this is the starter ratchet and clutch gear and the spring. This is the ball bearing that supports the weight, the power and weight on the end here. This is the bearing housing that fits onto the bearing and into the case itself. Now, this is also the main shaft cluster gear, and what will happen is, once we get this to where, let me get here real quick. Thank you, bro. So that goes down on that bearing, and that's what I wanted to show you, is that goes down on that bearing, and this is the main shaft cluster. All right, so, but the issue that we're having is, I think we're going to see where, you can see right here how shiny that wear area is right here. And I can almost feel something with my fingernail. So what we're going to check for now is, we'll take these gears out here. This is main shaft. This is the high gear shifter clutch. And this is your third gear. And if you notice, there's some bluing on here. And what that's from is somebody has had to fit this to make it work. So that's that makes you wonder right there. You have to double check this stuff all the time. So now, this is the main drive gear. And what we're going to look for here is there's a seal in this main drive gear. There's a seal right here. And inside there is a bronze bushing. This bronze bushing rides on the main shaft. And so we put it in here where it's supposed to be. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it does. See how it's loose in there? All right, so that tells us that we need, we're going to have to replace the main shaft and or the bushing in this main drive gear. So the thing about that is, by the time you buy the bushing and press it in and then machine it, hone it out, you can buy a main drive gear nowadays for about the same thing, and it's already ready to go. And our main shaft here, I I don't know how well you can see. There's some considerable wear here. I can feel it with my fingers. I can feel the waves. So what's going to happen is we're going to have a main shaft and probably a main drive gear in order to take care of this situation. And then inside here, you can see there's our loose roller bearings. We'll be replacing all those. And but so, like I said, this we're trying to do this to where we can show you basically what you have to have when you go into one of these things, and never take nothing for granted. Like I said, this main shaft, for all purposes, is in really good shape other than the area right here. And this, I mean, you can really see the wear, and I can feel this with my fingernail. If you can feel it with your fingernail, it's bad. I mean, as far as the way it looks, you know, you can always polish that up, but if you can feel ridges and ripples and deviations with your fingernail, then it's sad singing and slow walking. The bushing inside here in this main drive gear looks really good. We will measure all this stuff and make sure, but even visually it looks like it's egg shaped. And that, you know, it just comes from years of, you know, the loud handle. But that's what they're for. But anyhow, that's kind of where we're at now. Our next videos, what we'll be doing is we'll be dissecting each of these parts that need to be repaired and fixing them as a component. And then that way there, as we fix them as a component, we'll install them that way, and that way you'll be able to say, well, I've got to do this before I do that. And I've got to do this to make this work. So it'll make a lot more sense going back together. Like I said, this is just tearing stuff apart. Anybody can do that. If you're not familiar with this stuff, though, I would suggest, you know, taking pictures or whatever. You could get a genuine Harley manual, and those are good, but a lot of times they're more trouble than they're worth, and they'll get you in trouble if you don't watch what you're doing. So anyway, that's what we want. That's where we wanted to get to today. Was we've got the transmission totally tore down. We know now what we need to order to get the parts for this thing to get this girl back on the road, and you can usually build it if you've got the parts laying there. You can usually tear one down and build it back in, you know, a couple hours. It doesn't take very long. It's real easy. But we thank you for watching. Jipro and I do, and we're here at Air Cool Performance in Georgetown, Kentucky. We're the oldest shop in this area, as far as I know. And so if there's anything we can do to help you, please leave us a comment, and please subscribe and like. And until we see you next time, remember, God is absolutely good. Make him a part of your day. You'll be glad you did. Love you. Bye.